How many uses does corn have? In today's market, we say over 500. The vast majority of the food that we consume today has some part of corn in it, either a corn filler or corn itself or a byproduct of corn. Some of those foods we eat every day and never really think about it. How about that hamburger that you went to McDonald's and had? It has a corn filler in it. Or those French fries that you ate. They were fried in corn oil. How about those cookies or that brownie that you had? The vanilla extract and the baking powder, they have corn byproducts in them. How about the ketchup? It has corn fructose in it. Or even the corn pudding, which has a corn sweetener in it, or chocolate pudding, I should say. How about fruit juice? It has fructose corn syrup in it. How about that diet soda that everyone just thinks they have to have? It has genetically modified corn sweetener. Your salad dressing? It has fructose in it. How about your soup? That cream of tomato soup? It has cornstarch in it. Or better yet, how about that gravy that you poured all over those nice piping hot mashed potatoes? Cornstarch. Mayonnaise has vegetable oil in it. Where'd that vegetable oil come from? It came from corn. How about that vitamin D milk? It has a partial corn substance in it. Even your peanut butter, which has corn syrup in it. Everything that we probably think of and everything that we don't think of has corn in it. How about the things that do have corn in them? Those tamales, those tortillas, that cornmeal that made your corn muffins, that corn that you had on and off the cob, those corn chips. How about your cat food or your dog food? How about the corn that your cows eat or your pigs or any of your livestock on a farm? All that corn, it helps to feed our animals. Then again, what else do we do with corn? We have corn syrup. In Canada, they use it for making whiskey. 90% of their whiskeys are made from corn. Better yet, what else do we use to make corn with corn? How about your makeup? Shampoos? The wax that you see on fruits when you go to the store that keeps them fresh and firm looking. How about the Splenda and the Equal that you put in your food when you say, I'm on a diet and I'm using Sweet and Low? Well, they also have a derivative of corn in them. How about that Windex that you use to wash your windows with? It has a corn byproduct in it. Toothpaste has a corn byproduct. Cornstarch. Those coated aspirin that we take so that we don't get sick when we take aspirin has a corn byproduct in it. Wax paper, wax cardboard, all have derivatives of corn. How about gypsum drywall? Something we never think about. You know what? It's got particles of corn in it. Also, that adhesive that we use and that Elmer's glue and that plywood glue, they all have particles of corn in them. How about those diapers? Every time we change our children's diapers, what do you think keeps everything inside and turns it to a gel so that it doesn't run out the sides? Well, sometimes it does. That's a corn product. Even when we look at spark plugs, because they take a crystallized version of cornstarch and they turn it into the items that they use to put into the spark plugs that we put in our cars. Then you have ethanol. Where does ethanol come from? It comes from corn. Or better yet, How about the guy that had an article in National Geographic that talked about he had a corn burning stove. Cost him $150 a month to heat his house. He went through about 40 pounds of corn a day. Kept his house at 68 degrees every day. He said the most expensive part to it was buying a $1,500 stove to burn it in. Other than that, he considered it to be a sound investment because it took care of a lot of their family's needs. Corn has been around since 7500 BC when it was discovered in Mexico. And it actually didn't start out being called corn. It started out being called a wild grass. And that wild grass they call tessonite, which is high in carbs, yet and still. Today, a lot of people refer to corn as mesa. There are 6 different types of corns, each one doing something different. You got your dent corn, sweet corn, your popcorn, which you know you can't go to the movies if you don't have your popcorn. You have your flint corn and your flour corn. Corn flour gives you your cornmeal, your corn muffins. Some corn flours you can use as a product if you don't want gluten in your life. Pod corns. All these corns make something different. Do they have health benefits? Yes, they do. They help produce and they help develop some of the things that we need, the aspirin, the toothpaste, the deodorants, the makeups. They all give us some form of benefits. Do we need corn today? We need corn today because corn meets a lot of our basic needs. It meets our food supplies. It helps to meet our animal livestock feeding. It helps us to feed our pets. It helps to fuel our homes. And it helps to fuel our cars. So yes, there are a lot of basic needs for corn. And a lot of people will say, well, corn is just bad for you. Corn isn't really bad for you. If that's the case, then most things that we do in life might just be bad for us. But corn gives us a lot of nutritional values, whether it's frozen, whether it's canned, whether you go out and pick it straight out the field and it's fresh on the cob. Corn has nutritional values. In today's world, as we look around, corn is the grain that has many uses for us. It has over 500 different ways to be used, as well as being exported to other countries. Corn is the most valuable thing to us today because it is one of our food sources. Without corn, the world might be struggling with some of its foods because corn is going into so many of them and it's helping to not only feed us, we're exporting it and bringing money back into our country. Corn is helping us on so many different ways. It has so many different uses.